Estacado get a shutout. Two early defensive touchdowns got a spark that seemed like to me.
Really did, that big play when we 3-and-out them and then recovered that fumble in the end zone, really created momentum. And then we turned it over, and then we had a pick six by Rafe, and I thought that kind of set the tempo for the game.
Brody Cook is just as good of a running back, it seems like, as Aiden Hildinger, if not better. I mean, he was electric. He had the moves. He had the speed. Talk about his performance.
I'm really proud of Brody, and he's an unbelievable human being, a great leader for our team. And, one of the things that I talked to him about at the end of last year is I would get nervous running him with the football more than 8 to 10 times a game because, I felt like he needed to gain some strength and size. And you can tell he took that to heart. And, he's so much bigger and stronger and faster and physical now. And so, he's playing with a lot of confidence. And, of course, he would brag on the offensive line as well.
You always talk about playing with confidence. You guys are going to be, you're an eternal optimist, I guess, when it comes to starting out. But, 109 points in the first two games, 109 to 28, you about scored your first two opponents. Has this maybe been a little bit beyond expectations, what you might have thought you doing your first two games in terms of how decisive it's been for you guys?
I don't think that I pictured anything. I just wanted us to get the opportunity to get to go play. And in that first game, we kind of exploded offensively. And I told you about our dressing room and how electric it was. But I got to tell you, I've never seen a team, and Todd Winfrey, my OC, that's been with me 21 years, said the same thing, that was more focused than this group this past week. And you could sense something big was fixing to happen, and they made it happen for sure.
In week one, you said your defense, there were some things you wanted to fix for week two.
Yeah.
You pitched a shutout. Talk about your defense.
Yeah, that's a great question. And if you just would take our Burke Burnett game and get us on defense and pause it, then do the Estacado game and do the same thing. Look at our stance, look at our alignment, look at our eye discipline from the very start. You knew we were going to play better. And so I thought our focus was much better. And then Coach Anderson really had a great game plan. He lit some things up for sure.
You talked about the offensive line and Brody getting bigger. That was something that we talked about over the summer when you guys were working out in their homes and they were just working out by themselves.
Yeah.
How impressive is it to you seeing that all the work they were putting in without coaches even being present now coming through and paying off? Well,
it was awesome, and we have such a unique group, this senior group, and I say it a million times, but they led the way, and they had a picture and a vision, and I was just so proud of what they did. But I also want to say that, we went to Tech and studied some things. Toby took us there on nutrition, and he lined up some things with this milk deal that we do and some nutrition things that we're doing with our kids. So when you combine that with how hard they lift and how hard they work, but then the supplemental things that we're getting to do now, I think that's helped a lot.
You had your first home game, and I saw over the weekend a lot of your players posted some things praising the band and the student section and the fans. What was that like playing in front of the home crowd?
It was electric. It really was. And when they ran through that tunnel, it was cool. It was, and they were appreciative of everybody that showed up, and they wanted to tell our fans and student body, cheerleaders, band, all those folks, our student section, thank you for being there, and we got to have them. We got to have them this entire year, and we got to have our community supporting us, and we just wanted to tell everybody how thankful we were for what they did.
Blake, fair or not, I mean, you guys are off to this great start. Borger's kind of struggled out of the box. How do you avoid complacency?
Well,
I'm sure kids look at records.
Yeah, we've talked about all year that we're not playing against Burke Burnett, we're not playing against Estacado or Borger. We're just trying to see how good we can get. And I know that's kind of a cliche, but if you'll take that attitude every day, then all that kind of stuff, all that outside stuff just leaves your mind, and you try to challenge yourself. But don't, you've been around Atlanta a long time, and we talked about it this Saturday, and we talked about, the work ethic that we want to put in so that we can be a championship football team and not worry about our opponent. Just what can we do to get better.
Can you preview this upcoming matchup, like your keys of the game are?
Yeah, Borger defensively, I love their scheme. We studied a lot. It's Iowa State runs it, down at kind of a smaller level. Canadian runs it unbelievable, and they've implemented it, and game by game, they're getting pretty good at it. And, it's a 3-5-3. It's a lot of different coverage looks, and we're going to have to do a good job of understanding what they're doing. Again, it starts with the offensive line and running the football with us, and so we got to be sharp there. Spread team, they really similar to us. I got a little quarterback that runs around well, and throws it around well, got a running back that can go. And so we'll have to do a good job there. And then, like I always talk about, special teams wise, we've got to be sharp.
Is it, man, keeping a consistent mindset from week to week, another thing that's gonna be an emphasis, going into this game? Prepare for it the same way with the same intensity as you did last week and the week before?
Yeah, that's so much the truth, because we have, I talked to our players Saturday for a long time about, I felt like I let us get complacent in our stretch when we won a bunch of games early last, and we've got to challenge ourselves to not get there, and it starts with me. But it also, our seniors really are going to handle that as well, and once the team starts handling it, then good things will happen.
Speaking of Saturday, last week you said there's a lot to go with film, even though you guys scored 71 points. How was the film session this week?
I say this every week, but there's when you sit down and watch, what you thought you saw on Friday and what really happens are two different things. And so there was a lot to improve on, and I'll say it again, that when you win, you coach your kids really, really hard because they're open and receptive, and that's what we do.